Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis, and welcome to News and Rumours, your source of past releases and upcoming ones. Today we are discussing Dark Eldar, Fantasy, Terminators, and Chaos. So there's a lot to cover, so let's start in the past. Let's go back to the End Times release, which came out just after the Grey Knights Codex. We have seen a new Nagash model, which is absolutely massive and absolutely amazing. Hopefully there will be an image on screen. I'm hoping to start doing extra editing with these videos and get some images on screen so you can see what we're working with. We have also had the Mortarchs of Nagash, which include Manfred von Karstein on an Abyssal Terror, which is I don't want to call it a zombie dragon because that thing already exists, but it's sort of... I'm not quite sure what to call it. I'm putting it in the monster category because it's plumbing big, but I want to say it's like a griffin or a hippogriff in terms of hitting power. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the rules for an Abyssal Terror. I don't own vampire counts. We also have had Neferata, who is a Tomb King's character. I do not believe she is in the book, but there is a sort of Nagash-type codexy thing which combines vampire counts, Tomb Kings, other undead models, and just brings them all together. And we have also had, I believe his name is Arkan the Black, on his steed thingy. Is it a nightmare? No, that's a vampire counts thing. I can't remember its name, but he's called Arkan the Black, and he's got his own steed, and they are the Mortarchs of Nagash. They are lieutenants of Nagash, in a way, who have died and been raised up to serve Nagash. That makes a lot of sense. And we have also seen the Morghasts, I believe they're called. I'm just going to check. I have seen a review from MBG on the latest White Dwarf, no, on one of the recent White Dwarfs, which covered the Morghasts, and they have also done an unboxing. So if you want to check out the kit, go and check out MBG. I'll put his channel in the description. And what are they called now? Yeah, the Morghasts are one option. You can also make them into spirit hosts, which is quite cool. So you now have new spirit hosts instead of the little guys that you used to get in the old vampire counts, kind of like they did with the Necron Canoptech Wraiths. There's obviously been a sort of a codex, and this End Times expansion is not over, from what I can hear. This sort of links into the Chaos release that's coming later, but I will talk now, and basically I think there's going to be some more End Times related stuff, probably linked with Chaos. Not exactly sure what, but we will see. So, coming up next is the return of a fan favourite from 2010 or 11. It is now going to be the fourth iteration of Space Hulk. Space Hulk is back. Now, it might have actually, it was about 2010, the last edition, third edition of Space Hulk came out. The first game came out back in the 80s or the 90s, and the second one came out towards the end of the 90s, perhaps the early 2000s. And in 2010, we saw Space Hulk version 3, which brought back a load of fan favourites from first edition, including the Timer and some other things. The Timer being a particular one. I can't remember all the details, but this has been basically pushed out again. The box has been tuned a bit, so the title has changed to show it's a new box. But I believe the rules are all the same. I believe the models are all definitely the same. So it's Sergeant Lorenzo, Sergeant Gideon, Brother Zale, Brother Leon. If you played the Space Hulk video game, it's those characters, including Calistarius, who went on to become Mephiston, if you didn't know. And the Sin of Damnation campaign, which you can play through. Now, this is amazing because Space Hulk in 2010 was a limited edition run. There was one print run of Space Hulk. If you didn't get it the first time, you were stuffed. And I think they're going to do the same again. It's going to be $125, I think. The old box was about 70 quid. I'll just check the Bell of Lost Souls page, and I will wrong thing. And I will double confirm that. I believe it was $125, and that gets you Gideon, Omnio, about 10 or 11 Terminators. I think, no, 12. 11 Terminators and a Terminator Librarian. A bunch of Gene Stealers, though I cannot remember exactly how many. And a Broodlord. Plus a really cool board which has been debossed. Really solid doors, objective markers, command points, counter, assault cannon, ammo counter, all sorts of things. And yeah, it's $125. And there are 16 missions, which include 11 Blood Angels Terminators, 1 Librarian Terminator armor, 22 Gene Stealers, and Broodlord, including 3 objective models as well. A Dead Space Marine on a throne, a side-rolled task unit or a cat, and a Blood Angels artifact, which I believe was a goblet of some sort. There are also 2 new boarding torpedoes, a brand new turbo lift, 77 corridor and room sections, 110 counters, 5 dice, a status display, which is the little counter thing I was telling you about, and a sand timer, which is an old fan favourite. So we have got new gimmicks. We have the turbo lift and 2 new boarding torpedoes. I have no idea what difference that's going to make to the gameplay. It will be in the new rulebook and or the new mission book. There are also obviously counters for the heavy flamer because that has limited ammo, blip counters, entry point counters, all sorts of counters. It's a really cool game to watch, and I haven't played it, but it looks like a really fun game to play. I really wish I was able to play it. I might speak to one of my friends who did get at least the Space Hulk Terminators, if not Space Hulk. Maybe we can do something with them. However, 3 big surprises came out. Space Hulk has expansions. We have expansions for Space Hulk. They are all e-files, so they're like digital releases, and they all cost $16. Now, I don't know what that is in English money, I'm afraid. I haven't got a conversion chart, but something tells me it's going to be about 10 quid. Ish, 10 quid. I think it's like 1 to 1.6, so 10 to 16, about £10, $9.99. The first one is called Duty and Honour, and it is an exciting expansion for the Space Hulk board game that allows players to field the peerless warriors of the Ultramarines First Company. So this is an Ultramarines expansion. Follows the boarding action and purge of the Space Hulk Hunter of the Void. In this expansion you'll find rules for the weapons of war and wargear of the Ultramarines First, including Cyclone missile launchers, so new weapons for these expansions. So you can actually use your own Ultramarine Terminators and put them on the board, and your one can have a Cyclone missile launcher, for example. As well as guidelines for making up your own custom missions, which we love to see. We love to be able to create our own games, and custom missions would be great. The second one is called Bringer of Sorrow, and it is a Dark Angels expansion that allows players to field the legendary Deathwing. It recounts the perilous campaign to destroy the Space Hulk designated Bringer of Sorrow in a race against time before it reaches the hive world of Corinth. In this expansion, you will find rules for the unique weapons, including plasma cannons. How the hell are plasma cannons going to work? And halberds of Caliban, which are the things you see on the Deathwing command squads on the company champions, which are those long halberds. I don't think they're very good. I think they're something like +1 strength AP3 two-handed in regular 40k. I don't know how they'll work in Space Hulk, but they sound pretty cool. As well as guidelines for custom missions. So you'll get custom missions whether you buy this one, you buy Duty and On, or you buy Return to Kalidus, which is the Space Wolf expansion that allows players to field mighty Wolfguard Terminators. It charts the mission to deactivate the Scion of Darkness's potent void shields and bring about its annihilation. You will find rules for unique weapons and wargear of the Wolfguard, including frost axes, so power axes, because the only melee weapons in Space Hulk, the original, were Power Fist, 1 Power Sword, 1 Chain Fist, 1 set of Lightning Claws, and 1 Thunder Hammer. That's all you got. And Wolfguard pack leaders. So it looks like Sergeant Lorenzo and Sergeant Gideon, who we see in the Blood Angels version, will be replaced, and they'll get new rules for being Wolfguard pack leaders, which are basically the same thing as sergeants, as well as guidelines for custom missions. So it's like DLC. For want of a better word, it is the DLC of Space Hulk. And I think this is amazing. I'm not a massive Blood Angels fan. I like Blood Angels. But if I was to play it, I sort of have a fondness for the old Deathwing game, where you could play as Dark Angels Terminators. I think that was the original. Had Dark Angels Terminators in it. Maybe it didn't, but there was a really good Deathwing diorama. And I thought that was very good. And I thought the Deathwing were very, very cool. They contrast well. There was even a Left 4 Dead 2 Deathwing Space Hulk mod, which was quite cool. I've seen some gameplay of that. So, expansions for Space Hulk. Which one are you going to pick up? That's my question. Which expansion, if any, are you going to collect if you get Space Hulk? Are you going to see Duty and Honour with the Ultramarines and their Cyclone missile launchers of madness? Are you going to be the destroyers of the Bringers of Sorrow with plasma cannons, halberds of Caliban, and the Dark Angels? Or will you try to deactivate the Scion of Darkness with the Wolf Guard and their Frost Axes? Or are you just going to play the Sin of Damnation with Blood Angels, which is completely fine? I mean, if I bought it, I'd probably end up getting the Dark Angels pack, but I may well keep the Blood Angels because they are that cool. I love the Blood Angels models. This isn't the first time it's happened. We actually had Space Hulk campaigns in 1991 with the original Space Hulk, which included rules for Chaos Terminators and Standard Power Armor. So it's nothing brand new, but it is brand new, if you get what I'm saying. So that's Space Hulk. That's out this weekend, the 20th. Is when the White Dwarf will be out, or actually when Game will be out. The next comes from a video from 40k Scribe. He is in my featured channels, and he has done a video on Dark Eldar, because, well, he loves Dark Eldar, but the main thing is that Dark Eldar are getting a new codex on September 27th, so that is the week after Space Hulk. And we're a little bit vague. I mean, I think I've got some old rumour threads back here from BOLS. He's linked one in his description, so I'll put the link to his video. So go and make sure to watch that, because that might give you a bit more information, because I'm only going to be able to cover so much here. Let's see what we can get. So, the first thing, every character without a model is getting cut. Same as we saw with the Guard, same as we saw with the Wolf. Did we see any of the Wolves? I don't think we did. Same as we saw with the Orcs. So nothing new there. So, but one thing that did come out, Vect will be a Lord of War. Now this sort of clashes, doesn't it? Because does Vect have a model? No. Is Vect going to be in the new codex? Yes, as a Lord of War. Therefore, new model for Vect. Yep, Asdrubel Vect should be getting a new model. And that I am very happy about. And apparently he's going to get some new war machine, because we're all used to the Days of Destruction by now. Possibly there's going to be some new war machine. And the Voidraven is in the codex, so it won't be getting cut. There will be a Voidraven kit, probably. And it's chatter that it will have a price of $81, but that's 3 months old rumour now. Now, the latest sets of rumours, or slightly older rumours, but these are the last 2 sets of real credible ones. And they came out to the last Nagash, yeah. 3-week release window. No, nothing completely new, so there'll be no new units. So some model characters in units will get models, but nothing brand new. Characters without models removed. Separate relics for witches and cabals. This makes a lot of sense, because the witch cults will not use some sort of super splinter weapon. But a Carbide Archon, for example, wouldn't have access to some super relic shard net and impaler. You get what I'm saying? So there will be some special witch ones, and there will be some special Carbide ones, which is good. I'm glad to see that. And yeah, I think that will go well. I'm not sure what the relics will be at all. I think mostly the witch ones will be melee and possibly armor save or invulnerable save focused, because they used to have a 4+ invulnerable save in melee. They might actually be getting, maybe not a shadow field, that would be OP, but some sort of out of melee invul save on a succubus, other than the Lith. Vect is the Lord of War with a new war machine, and Racks are the only fine casts who get a replacement, apparently. So it sounds like Racks will get a new kit. Is it going to be plastic? Is it going to be in Finecast? Not sure. Apparently, Incubi will be repacked but stay in Finecast. So it might be a new Incubi box, but it will still be in Finecast, which is unfortunate. I'd love to see a plastic Incubi kit where you could really start messing around with bits of Wargear and posing. Because I think the current Incubi, whilst they look cool, maybe not the best models that Games Workshop has ever made. 2 items named Dark Eldar Covens and Dark Eldar Wyches for the same price as 7th Ed Codex. Sounds like supplements. These might be where this twin relics thing is coming from. Perhaps there will be a set of standard Codex relics for everybody, and then these 2 supplements, the Cabal... Oh, no, back up. Sorry. Covens is referring to the homunculi. So maybe there'll be a homunculus supplement where you get all the homunculus relics, a witches supplement where you get all the witch relics, and then the main codex will be mainly Carbolite relics. There might be the odd melee thing that a succubus will want to use, or a survivor thing that a succubus might want to use, but mostly I think they'll be Carbolite focused. In addition to that, I've seen the normal 7th ed price Codex Dark Eldar and the Codex Dark Eldar Limited Edition that is a bit cheaper than others. This makes no sense. Apparently, the Codex will be cheaper than the other codices. That would suck if you're not a Dark Eldar player, because you feel a little bit cheated. Why is one Codex cheaper than all the rest? Why are we paying £30 for our codices and they're paying £25? I know it's not a lot, but it feels dumb. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the smart money is saying Codex, supplemental books, plastic racks, Finecast Incubi, Vect on a new war machine, and random chat out of a plastic clam pack HQ. Archon most commonly reported. I'd like to see a female Archon. I really would, because a female Archon, proper female Archon kit, opens up Lady Malice. I'd love Lady Malice to stay in the Codex, because there are so many Dark Eldar characters without models. Lady Malice, the Decapitator. Drazhar sort of does, but it's so old. I mean, that's the original Drazhar from the original Dark Eldar Codex. Every other model pretty much has been redone except him. I'm trying to think now. Duke Sliscus has no model. Baron's, what's his name? The Hellion guy, I've forgotten his name. Baron Sathanix. He has no model. So that's 5 characters possibly getting cut from the Codex. And what does that leave you? Rakarth, Vect, Lilith, and that's about it. 3 named characters when before you had 8. 8! Come on! Now, you could argue that Kharadrak becomes a Mandrake sort of upgrade character, kind of like Snickrot has for Commandos. You could also argue for... Actually, I don't think you can argue anything else. Sathanix possibly is a Hellion character, but beyond that, there's not a lot much available to you. 3 HQs, your Archon, your Succubus, and your Homunculi. I mean, 6 in a HQ section ain't bad, but if you've seen my Codex Tower analysis, there's like 5 unique HQs. Never mind, and then another 3 or 4 who are sort of regular ones. So it feels a little bit of a cop-out to cut out half the HQ section, more than half of the HQ section. That's a big cut. But we'll find out on the 27th of September. I'd like to see Archons get some more Wargear options. I'd like them to take Skyboards. I'd love them to get jet bikes. I said this about the Orc release when I was talking about it with Warwick in a 40k Ramblings video he did. We don't get enough character customization. I know, it's weird. We get loads of weapon options, we get loads of equipment options, but we can't take jump packs. So you can't get jump infantry Archons with wings like Scourges. You can't get jet bike ones. You can't get Hellion ones. Ugh. So many things they could do, and I just wish they'd do it, because I love customizability. And I love speed, so Dark Eldar are a bit up my street. Now, the last thing. This is sort of not take it with a pinch of salt type rumours, but it's a little bit less substantial. We know a little bit less, and this is to do with Chaos. And this is going to come in October, so once the Dark Eldar release is out of the way, which, if we're right, will probably be mid-October. After that, or possibly at the same time as that, so as after the Dark Eldar Codex comes out, we can then get into this Chaos End Times release, and it's said to be themed around the End Times again. Now, I'll just quickly find it. Here we go. As I say, there should be some images on screen instead of just watching me scrolling through stuff. I'm hoping to get some more editing done. Here we go. Soon after the Dark Eldar, End Times will go into the next round. It will be a big Chaos release with 5 to 6 weeks. And this builds directly on rumours that broke out of Spain a couple of days ago. And that was saying that October should be the month of Chaos. The starter kit is there somewhere. Don't know what that means. I don't know when. The way they told me, I thought it would be on September 20th. That's a lie, unfortunately. That's not true. It's not September the 20th. That's Space Hulk. So maybe the starter box they were referring to is actually Space Hulk. So let's move on a bit. Chaos Book, 2 big boxes, 1 medium-sized character, and an SC-TN special character blister. So a special character, a medium box, and 2 big boxes, and a book. So that could be Codex Warriors of Chaos again? No. That would be the 3rd Warriors of Chaos Codex just while I've been playing. And I've been playing since 2008. That'll be 3 codices in 6 years, which would be a little bit silly. There's a load of questions that sort of follow underneath. Unholy cards? Don't know. Malice becoming a demon prince. Malice is Malice Darkblade. He's a dark elf character, actually. But he's sort of possessed by a demon. So he fits in the chaos way. Cult of Slaanesh. Anointed Druki come back to obliterate Nagaroth. I don't know what that means. That's a piece of fluff I don't know. Something about anointed dark elves destroying Nagaroth. The Nagarith prophecy becoming true. Again, I don't know that one. Something to do with the elves. Will the old Chaos Champions return? That's plausible. So we could see some of the old Everchosen coming back. Is the Kalidor Dragons prophecy finally here? Ooh. Kalidor Dragons. Now, these are the dragons that the High Elves ride, and they've been sleeping. They've been very, very sleepy. And maybe they're coming back. That would be great. I'd like to see some big, badass dragons. Yes, please. You may remember a couple of videos ago when I did News and Rumours, you go back through the playlist, I talked slightly about a Chaos release before. And there were rumours of Chaos kits that have been kept on ice for a while, including a giant Nurgle kit. So maybe this ties in. However, it's a 6-week block. 6 weeks. 6 weeks is a long time. Think about it. That's, if you started in mid-October after the Dark Eldar release, that takes you to the end of the year. No, it doesn't. It takes you to the end of November. What am I on about? That takes you to the end of November. All talking about Chaos. That's madness. So, what they're suggesting, because it will be 6 weeks of fantasy release, and I don't think the 40k crowd would quite buy that, considering 40k is the bigger game, unfortunately, and it's a lot to fill in one go. They might actually just chop it down the middle and take it into 2 3s. One of which was a very fantasy version, so the end time stuff. Archaon is mentioned, fantasy type thing related, being dumped into window A, maybe after the Dark Eldar. Then maybe you have maybe you put something in the middle. I doubt you do. And then the second lot of 3 is generic chaos, as it's described here. As in, you can use it for 40k and fantasy. So these would be things like Greater Demons. These would be, I'm not sure, maybe a new Soul Grinder, because that's in both books. But sort of things like that, things that apply to both systems. Possibly, maybe even we see a very old Demon Prince like Be'lakor getting redone, because he's in both systems. It makes a bit more sense if you do it like that, because 6 weeks to fill is a long time, particularly if you're Games Workshop and you've got to chop that all out. That's a lot of things to dump. Like one big kit, book, super character, medium kit, campaign book, probably. That's how I would do it anyway. So it's all a bit up in the air right now, but we will see. And once this Dark Eldar release is coming to an end, and we've seen that, I will come back and do another News and Rumours video, and we will talk about this Chaos release properly. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you like the new format, if I've got the new format. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and let me know about Space Hulk. Which expansions are you looking forward to, if any? And what about Dark Eldar? Do you think they're going to cut 5 HQs? Because that seems very excessive to me. I don't know. Let's find out, shall we? Anyway, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, and I will be back soon. So thank you for watching. My name is Michael, and I will see you again.